They say practice makes perfect. It's true for the smaller things in life, like playing a musical instrument or learning a new language. But what about fighting wars? Does practice make you perfect at war? Well, China certainly thinks so. Satellite images have revealed their so-called practice ranges. Take a look at this one. It is located deep in a desert in Xinjiang. Now, the layout is interesting. It resembles a naval base with a warship. Not a Chinese naval base, a Taiwanese naval base. Experts have identified the similarities. China's practice range resembles a base in northeast Taiwan. If war breaks out, this base would be crucial. So what does China do? Practice missile strikes on replicas. Now, when I say replicas, they are pretty spot on. The pier, the warships, everything is built to specification. Reports say this was made in December. Once completed, China's PLA blew it up with a missile strike, sort of like a dress rehearsal before the real deal. And it's not just Taiwan. Replicas have been spotted of US bases in Japan and Guam. So China is readying for a wider war. The question is, will they put their practice into motion? They certainly have the tools. China is known to have developed two hypersonic missiles. One is called the Carrier Killer. The other is called the Guam Killer. Well, you can imagine why. The second missile has a range of 5,000 kilometers. In other words, enough to hit the US military base in Guam. If this is not warmongering, what is? China is replicating Taiwanese bases in their deserts. The pier, the ships, the defenses, everything. And these replicas are being blown to smithereens by the PLA. How is this not escalation? It clearly means China is thinking about war. I've got more evidence for you. Take a look at this satellite picture. What you're looking at is a Chinese shipyard. That blue object is an attack submarine, possibly a nuclear-powered one. Intelligence reports had repeatedly warned of this, that China is developing a new class of submarines. And this could be it. More range, more reliable, and more protection for Chinese warships. Clearly, the dragon is eyeing the high seas. How is the Alliance of Democracies planning to respond? Well, right now, an important meeting is happening in Washington, D.C., the US-ASEAN summit. The ASEAN is a group of 10 nations in Southeast Asia. They're a big trading bloc. They're economic powerhouses, and most importantly, they have differences with China. So Joe Biden is looking to exploit those differences. The summit kicked off with a dinner at the White House. 8 ASEAN heads of state were in attendance. Myanmar was excluded because of the military coup, and the Philippines because the new president is yet to take charge. The big headline on Thursday was this: Biden announced a $150 million package for ASEAN. It's a good start, but as always, America is late. In November 2021, China too announced a package for ASEAN. Guess how much? $1.5 billion. And that's the biggest challenge for the US, because ASEAN states are no fans of China. Most of them have territorial disputes with Beijing. At the same time, they have no choice but to engage. China is ASEAN's biggest trading partner. Their total trade is worth around $274 billion. Europe is second, America is third. And Beijing knows about this dependence. Take a look at this Global Times article. Here's what it says: the industry and supply chains between China and ASEAN are closely connected thanks to institutional arrangements like the China-ASEAN Free Trade Area. The US lacks a global program equivalent to the Open and Inclusive Belt and Road Initiative. Ignore the joke about the inclusive BRI. Other than that, China does have a point. ASEAN's economy is too dependent on China's, plus there is little military deterrence. Western warships make occasional voyages through the South China Sea. But that's not stopping China. Their warships continue to challenge ASEAN states. So Joe Biden needs a two-part plan. One must focus on alternatives to Belt and Road, to Chinese supply chains, to Chinese loans, basically wean Southeast Asia off Chinese dependence. The other focus must be on defense. ASEAN states should be capable of defending against the PLA. That's where partners like India come in. The Philippines, for example, they bought the BrahMos missile from India. Reports say Vietnam is also interested. So America must take on a different role in the Indo-Pacific, not like the one they played in Europe. Unquestioned leadership will not work here. The US must work as an equal partner. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.